Good morning, everybody. It's officially 10 o'clock Eastern time in Cincinnati, Ohio. I've gotten some unfortunate news, though. Jim Blair and I had miscommunication for today,
Oh,
and he's not going to be on today's open forum. We're going to Cleveland afterwards, and Jim had things to do, and he said he didn't realize we had an open forum scheduled today, as we had one scheduled last week also. Sorry about that. So I'll still give out the gift cards, even though Jim's not here today. And I'll do my best to answer your questions. But folks, you ask so many complicated questions that I have no clue what's going on. So this might be a pretty quick open forum today, unfortunately. So you probably know that we did go through the advisor listing over the last few weeks. It took a while. Me and my son Aaron, he read off the names of the folks that are on the advisor list, and I went through the certificate list, and I told him which ones to remove. We ended up removing a few. I won't tell you how many, but it's up to date now. So I'm asking everybody to go through that to determine, see if your name is if you're on there. Because if you are on there, we're fine. If you're not on there, could be a couple of reasons. You did not complete the Google Doc, which I sent after passing the assessment, or you haven't renewed with us recently, and I just haven't gotten around to taking you off. So that's kind of what it is. So far, 10 people sent an email to me saying they weren't on. All but one were current with us. And so I sent them we're sending them the Google Doc document to complete, and they'll get listed. Only one or two were old, have not renewed, and hopefully they will. So for those of you that are just logging into the open forum today, wanted to let you know that Jim Blair is not going to be with us. Jim and I had miscommunication, and he didn't really know there was an open forum today. We're on our way to Cleveland afterwards to teach a class in Beechwood, Ohio. So I'm hoping to see some of you there. Okay. Well, you know the procedure. Raise your hand, and I'll keep my fingers crossed. I see a lot of you laughing out there, which is good. I like a sense of humor with that, with Jim not being here. I like your smile, Marcia. I know, Paul, you're laughing, and probably a few of you others are also. Okay, well, if I don't get any people raising their hands, I'll just go. Oh, somebody. Oh, Marcia, go ahead.
I can't find my little raise hand.
Well, you did though, so you're good.
I did the clap. Oh, I did. Okay. Well, I had questions about disability, so I'm okay if we're not going to cover them today. But what maybe the group knows, is there a good resource I should go to first besides Jim, where I can get getting a lot of disability questions these days, and I don't want to steer anybody wrong because it's such a persnickety topic. So I just thought I'd throw that out. If you've got a good resource.
As you know, disability benefits are like on a per state type of basis. And so when somebody wants a resource, like a lawyer, I always tell them reach out to somebody in their area. I don't know of any specific resources on SSDI. I'm sure there are plenty. If you would like to send us an email, I'm going to say that a lot today. If you'd like to send us an email, I'll get Jim Blair to respond. He'll send you some resources, I promise you.
All right. Thanks.
do what?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Let me get it.
Somebody's iPhone is talking to me. Who is this? Okay, I will mute it then for now. Okay, let's go with Greg. See if I can do better with Greg.
Hopefully this is a layup, Mark.
Yeah, I hope
But
so.
just want to verify what I believe is the case. If someone is collecting benefits off of an ex-spouse's earnings record, does that end when that person collecting gets remarried?
Yep.
Okay.
You must be single to collect off of a living ex-spouse. Pure and simple.
Excellent. Thank you.
But not off of a deceased ex-spouse. You can get remarried after attaining age 60. So many people confuse age 60. They just do. And we also have to remind them, age 60 only relates to surviving spouse, surviving spouse benefits and not current spouse benefits, current ex-spouse benefits, remarriage, that is.
Excellent. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, thanks for the layup, Greg. I appreciate it. Okay, let's go to Steve.
All right, quick question, because I don't remember. I have a 62-year-old that wants to file.
How
that has
old?
a 62-year-old
Okay,
wants to file. He's not working anymore, but he's got a 7-year-old and a 14-year-old.
okay.
Is that dependent benefit, is it decreased because he files at 62?
No, no.
Okay,
They still get, they're eligible for half of his PIA.
okay.
How-
Even though he
ever-
files early.
Yeah. However, though, the family maximum will come into play. And so they both won't get 50% of his PIA. It's going to be reduced according to the family maximum. Family maximum applies if two people collect off the number holder. In a death case, the family maximum applies if three people collect off of the deceased.
Okay, perfect.
yeah,
Thank you so much. I couldn't
so-
remember.
So great. So Steve, it doesn't matter the age of the parent. Parent
Right.
can be 62, takes the 25% haircut or so. Parent can wait till age 70 and receive all those DRCs. Spousal benefits and children's benefits are always based on PIA. Nothing
Okay.
more, nothing less.
Couldn't remember. Thank you so much for the refresher. All right,
Oh,
thanks.
pleasure. I'm doing pretty good here. Okay. All right. See, I went to Greg. Paul, what's on your mind, Paul?
Absolutely nothing. I'm enjoying the show.
Is your baseball team doing well?
You know, the Stros are having a problem, but I'm a Red Sox person. They're struggling too.
Didn't
So,
they win 17-0?
Yeah, they did that. They were sleeping. That's why they won 17-0.
Okay,
That's
thank
all.
you. For those of you who are just logging in, I want to let you know Jim and I had miscommunication for today. He's not going to be here. We're leaving to go to Cleveland after the open forum is over, and he didn't know we had an open forum. I don't know how he didn't know. It's on the calendar, but yeah, he didn't know. So anyway, I'm hoping for some layups today. Cynthia, you're on.
Mute. No, I'm just listening in,
Thank you.
enjoying the show.
Thank you.
As we said.
Abby, you're next.
Just listening in.
Okay. Marcia, anything else for you? Okay. We'll go to Lynn.
thanks,
Hello,
Lynn.
Lynn. Okay.
Good morning. I'm just enjoying the show myself.
Okay, good. I'm glad I'm putting on a show. George, you're next.
Hi, good morning. Spousal benefits, besides applying at the Social Security office, can one apply online for those?
Well, yeah, you can apply for spousal benefits online. However, though, if you're looking to add the spousal boost to your own retirement benefit, you must contact SSA to do that. So if you have a wife collecting her own benefit, then the husband files, she must contact SSA to file for the spousal boost. But spousal benefits in general can be done online. Yes, they can.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Bob, you're next.
Yeah, I have no questions this
Hey,
morning.
Bob, are you the guy located in Kentucky?
No, I'm
Okay,
in
that's somebody else then. But where are you located?
Michigan.
Michigan. Okay, thank you. Susan. Hi, Susan.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah. Well, not you, Sue.
Okay,
Looking for
Sue.
Susan. There'll be the one before you.
Okay, no
Susan
problem.
Moosey. Go ahead, Susan.
Good morning. I don't have a technical question, but I do, this badge from National Social Security Association, is it legitimate?
Yeah,
And
it's
what-
legit.
Okay.
It's the digital badge. Yes. I always know when Aaron sends those out because people ask me, is this legit? So yeah, it's legit.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Susan? No. Okay. Sue, you're next. Sue, you're next.
Thank you, Mark. Mark, in your lifetime experience with, Social Security and that,
That's not
Yeah,
mine, it's Jim's.
well, okay, but you're the substitute today and we're glad to have you because you're entertaining. So
Okay.
here's my question, please. As you became more and more familiar over the decades, from your 40s, 50s, 60s, and present, What did you learn that was new, that really made a difference, and you took hold of it and you continue to benefit from it and applied it to your life?
Well, let me just tell you, when Jim and I got together in 2010, I knew nothing about Social Security, nothing at all. We would give public workshops, and people would come up to me afterwards and they asked me questions. Say, I don't know your idea. Like one person asked about spousal benefits. I said, I don't know. One person asked about WEP or GPO, and I didn't know the difference between the two. So I couldn't answer that question. But over time, I read a whole lot of books. I kept talking to Jim, and I read articles, taught the class with Jim. And so I'm at the point that I'm at. So every day I am focusing my time on Social Security. You're not. I am. I get questions all day long from advisors. And that helps me to learn even more, even though many of the questions I do end up sending to Jim. The biggest thing folks need to know is that Social Security, it's really is a situational type of program. Jim Blair can be meeting with 10 different married couples, and they all have their own different set of options available to them. Everybody just needs to understand what the situations are. You know, in my case, I'm single, as you know, and I turned full retirement age in June of 2022, and I began my benefits then. Some people would say I should have waited until age 70, but in my mind, I didn't see any reason to. It fit me. It's an annuity. It's guaranteed income.
Welcome to your.
I have two sources of guaranteed income. I have Social Security, and I have a widower benefit from the state of Ohio. So when those checks come in, I'm really happy. You know, I remember Tom Hegner one time said the most miserable people during retirement are those people with assets. They need guaranteed income. How much in guaranteed income do you need? I don't know. But I have about $5,000 coming to me every month. I really like that. So everyone just needs to look at what their options are, and you need to help your clients, of course, to do that. Sue, did I really answer your questions?
Yeah, we were getting close there, and I
Stop
like
it.
the
Don't
badminton
jump up on
between
me.
you and
Hey, folks,
time.
mute yourself, please.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sue.
Excellent, Mark. I always love the badminton or the ping pong between you and Jim and
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, so now
but let me ask you this. Knowing what you know now, and you were in your 50s, what would you have done differently?
nothing.
Nothing, okay.
No, it's just work. You paying the Social Security? Nothing. When you turn 60 is when you really start to look at it. Because, you know, in your 50s, sure, there could be an opportunity for you to minimize FICA taxes by minimizing your earned income, but no one's thinking about that when they're in their 50s. Nobody. So, Sue, to answer your question, I don't think I would have done anything different.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Mark. Have a good week.
Thanks. All right, Travis, you're next. Can't hear you. You're probably on mute. I don't see you anymore anyways.
Mark, I read a question, an article recently that said about 56% of recipients are paying taxes on those benefits at this point.
Okay.
And I know more and more people are tripping that 25,000 or the 32,000 numbers that were set back in 1983.
Yeah, they
so
are.
my question is, can you just walk us through, is it like Medicare where it's a cliff threshold and all of, 50% or 85% of their benefit, or is it a portion?
No, it's up to 50% if you're married and your provisional income ranges between, let's say, 32 and 44,000, but don't quote me in that place. And it's up to 85% if your provisional income is over $44,000. So it's not set in stone what it will be. For example, in our class, we have one slide with the fact pattern. Somebody doesn't reach the 85% range until they reach provisional income of $87,000, because only half of your Social Security is included in provisional income and half is excluded. So even though you might be at that range in married couples case, 32 to 44,000 or something like that, it's up to 50%. It could be less. One example in the class is it's 11% with provisional income of let's say $35,000. And then in another example, that same person goes down to the boat, wins $20,000, and now their provisional income is high enough where they're paying tax on 85% of their benefits. Don't forget, it's not an 85% tax rate. Some people think it is. It's 85% of their benefits might be included in taxable income.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, Travis. And also, let me also say this. When somebody asks a tax question, I always have to put a disclaimer. I'm not a tax person anymore. Thank you, Travis. Okay, so we went to George, Bob, Susan, Sue. Fraser, you're next. You're on mute, Fraser.
Yeah, I'm muted. Mark,
There you go.
would you restate that, please, about the getting married and collecting spousal
Not spousal, but divorced spouse.
divorce? So if they're alive, if the person you're collecting off is alive, you cannot get remarried.
No, okay, no, we're sending it kind of backwards. Let's assume I'm married. No, let's assume I have an ex-spouse, okay? For my ex-spouse to collect off me, she must be at least age 62. She must be single, and I must be receiving a benefit. If we've been divorced for 2 years or longer, that requirement that I be receiving a benefit goes away, and she can collect off me as long as we're both at least age 62. So my ex-spouse must be single to collect off me. Pure and simple. While I'm alive. When I'm deceased, that's different. She can collect off my work record if she gets remarried after attaining age 60.
60. So if that person got married at 58, you're going to lose. So
yeah,
don't get married for a while.
Don't get right. Don't get married till you're 60. Otherwise, you cannot collect off of living off of a deceased ex-spouse.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Fraser. Appreciate it. Chris, you're next. Chris Liebram.
Good morning, everybody.
There you go. Can't see you, but I know you're there.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
So, on the directory on the website, Mark, I was looking at that, and some of the information for me is not correct. How do I get that updated?
Send me an email, please, and
Will
I'll send it to Aaron, and we'll take care of you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Chris. Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Hello, how are you today?
We're good. Thanks for being here.
Good, thank you. So I'm just piping in just to, learn what I can, but also I do have a client who is 60 years old, husband just passed away, and we're going to begin exploring the widow benefit.
Okay.
So what do you think is the best course of action for beginning that process?
No problem. So the surviving spouse should contact SSA. Should ask for the benefit matrix report. Benefit matrix report will show by year and by month, beginning with age 60, the amount of a retirement benefit. Of course, that will be 0 until age 62, and the amount of a widow benefit. So the benefit matrix report will give you what you need to get the process going, and then purchase some software to put the figures in there to tell them what option looks best for them. The option for a surviving spouse, usually, because deemed filing does not apply to surviving spouses. So surviving spouse can begin the surviving spouse benefit as early as age 60, and then switch to their own benefit as late as age 70, or they can claim the surviving spouse benefit, their own benefit as early as age 62, and then claim the surviving spouse benefit at full retirement age. But benefit matrix report is where you begin.
Okay, thank you.
You have to get that by contacting SSA. Do you want their phone number?
Please, and is there any time constraint for this for her?
No, but of course, the later you wait to do it, you could be missing some benefits, but also benefits will go up with each passing month. So do it as soon as you can. 800-772-1213. And remember, earned income test will apply to the surviving spouse.
All right. Thank you so much.
Let's go to my favorite Pittsburgh fan. I hope the Pirates are doing well.
No.
What's their record?
Horrible.
Oh, because they
They've
started
lost like the last 13 games in a row or something like that.
Okay, well.
They started out like a house on
They
fire.
always do.
Now, well, usually they wait till the All-Star break.
Oh,
But unfortunately they're in the tube, so.
I remember one year, maybe 10, 15 years ago, they had a really good team. And everyone was expecting them just to get better. Well, it just didn't work.
Well, the owners of the team don't like to spend money.
Okay, well, that happens. Small market teams. All right, Teresa, I'm ready.
I have nothing that I am working on currently, just listening today.
Thanks, Teresa. Thanks for being here. Let's go to Mark. Hello, Mark. Oh, wait a second. Before I go to you, Mark, I'm sorry. Somebody raised their hand. I need to go to them first. Marcia.
Thank you. I did figure out a question with WEP, and this is a reminder. So if the higher earning spouse is subject to WEP because they have a state pension or teacher's pension or whatnot, is the spousal benefit calculated on the WEP PIA?
Yes, it is.
And what about the survivor benefit?
It's based on normal death PIA.
Okay.
You got it.
And same for the kids. If you have children,
I wouldn't see why not. So yeah, I would say so.
On the WEP PIA.
Yeah, WEP PIA.
Okay.
Yeah, during their life, WEP PIA. After their afterlife, it's normal PIA.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Marcia. All right, Mark, you're on.
I'm just enjoying the show. However, I am a yuck from Kentucky. So you were asking if, and I may not be the guy you were thinking of.
No,
Okay,
the
so-
guy I was thinking about had the right name.
Okay, all right.
What part of Kentucky are you in?
I'm in central Kentucky, Lawrenceburg.
Okay, very
outside
good.
of, yeah,
Okay.
south of Frankfurt.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Let's go
Sure,
to
thank you.
Carrie. Hi, Carrie. Carrie Witt, are you there? Let's go to Mary. Mary is a new.
Good morning.
Oh, never mind, Mary. Sorry. Go to Carrie. Hi, Carrie.
Good morning. I'm just listening in.
Okay, thanks, Carrie.
Thank you.
Mary, you're new. You just passed the test, right? I believe.
Well, no, I haven't taken it yet.
Oh, fine. Okay, then
Yeah.
you will pass the test.
Well, I hope to. And
Okay.
I'm just checking in to listen and try and learn more. That's for sure.
And honestly, that's what it takes. Keep attending our monthly get-togethers. Keep attending our bi-weekly open forums. Read books. Always good idea to continue to read books and read articles on Social Security. Definitely. Anything else, Mary?
No, that's it for now. I'm just
Okay. Thanks, Mary. Andrea, you're next. Let's go to Paradise.
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
I don't know how to ask this question, but frequently once in a while, we'll get somebody who has one of the spouses in a couple is both a Canadian citizen and a US citizen.
Ask that
So how
question
do
by
I-
sending
how do
us
I
an
approach-
email.
Huh?
Ask that question by sending us an email. Jim will answer it
Okay.
for you. There's,
Okay, that'd be awesome.
There are some questions I immediately send to Jim. Anything that has to do with international issues. Anything that has to do with the Railroad Retirement Plan. Anything that has to do with Medicare. And anything I can't answer goes right to Jim.
So there's no standard formula. I should just check in with you guys when
Yeah.
this comes out. Okay.
Yeah, just ask us. Jim can send you a Palms
Great, thank
reference
you.
if you need it. He can send you the actual totalization agreement. Yeah, Jim has all that knowledge. All right, thanks, Andrea.
Okay.
Randy, you're next.
Hi, Mark. So I got just two questions. One is, when is the best time to file? So let's just say somebody's full retirement age in September and they're going to file. What's the timeline for filing and then collecting the benefits?
Sure. You can file 4 months in advance. For example, my benefits began in June of 18. No, 22 or 2022. I filed February 1st of 2022. So my benefits started in June. I got my first check in July.
Okay. And what about the latest to file? So if their birthday is in September.
Sure. Well, you can file in September. You may not get your check right away, but you'll get it eventually.
So up to 4 months.
Yeah. Yeah. File
Okay.
as soon as you can.
Okay.
But you can file in September. You'll get your check retroactive to September, but just may not happen right away.
Okay. Here's my second question. So somebody just filed their 2023 tax return. they had a one-time life occurrence, so their Magi premium or their Magi is now throwing them in the IRMA that we know is going to be 2 years later, so 2025. If they want to file an exception on Form SSA 44, when should they do it?
As soon as they can.
So they can file
their income has to go down. So it has to have gone down in 2023 or 2024, and they must have had a life-changing event, a death, work stoppage, retirement, loss of income-producing property, stuff like that. There are more on SS 44 form than just those. But file as soon as you know your income's going to go down, because you have to estimate your income. So if you think you've had a life-changing event and your income has dropped, go ahead and file that form as soon as you can. So Social Security can get onto it, or IRS, whoever looks at that form.
Yeah, in this case, it was a life-changing event, and the income went up just for 1 year only.
Okay. So it went down the next year.
Then it's going to go back to normal the next year.
Okay. Well, fill out the form, SS 44. There's a company we're familiar with that's based out of New York that if you want help filling that out, they'll do that for you.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah. We've never completed that form. We have no interest in doing in preparing a tax form.
Okay. Is it a form the normal person can do on their own?
They can try. I get confused with it, Randy.
Okay.
But it's only because, I just find some of those instructions confusing. I'm sure if I really put my head to it, I can fill it out, but I don't have any desire to.
Okay. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks. Okay. David, you're up. Yeah, you go.
Just in listen mode today. I just want to learn.
Okay. Thanks, David. Appreciate it. Nick, you're next, Nick. Nick Bohr, anything to add? Okay, we'll go to Marquise. Hi, Marquise.
Hey, good morning, Mark.
Good morning.
I wanted to emphasize and ask the question. Well, one, I appreciate you and Jim. You guys with the earnings record a couple of weeks ago was really helpful. But when a person goes on and they get their earnings record and they pull it down and we're looking for the mismatches, can you confirm that if we don't have W-2s or a tax return to basically show that Social Security's got it wrong, they won't make the correction?
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah. I have heard, and I don't know if this is a myth or a wife's tale, that if let's say they have 2020 and 2022 wages, earned income on there, but nothing for 2021. I heard, but I don't know if this is right, they'll go ahead and change 2021 as you have the year before and the year after. I don't know if that's right, but yeah, I don't even know who told me.
Okay.
But yeah, you don't, it's not the tax return necessarily they need, Marquise. You need the W-2 and Schedule SE to show the business income.
Okay.
Tax return won't hurt, but it might not really help.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Steve, you're next, Steve. Okay, we'll go to Bart. Hi, Bart. Andrew, you're next, Andrew. Andrew Green, you're next.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. No questions today. Thank you.
Thank you. Martin. Hello. Okay, let's go to Brian. Hi, Brian. You're not on mute, Brian, so anything you want to say? Krista, let's go to Krista.
Thank you so much for all your help and support. I don't have any new questions today.
Okay,
Just
thanks,
listening.
Krista. Thanks for being here. Mike Mason, you're on. Mike, anything you want to say? You unmuted yourself, I thought. Okay, we'll go to Travis. Travis, you have your hand up.
Yeah, hey, Mark, just to follow up on Fraser's question earlier about somebody being 58 years old.
Okay.
He made the comment that, they should wait to get remarried until after the age of 60,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But let's say that somebody did not wait. I get this one all the time in the
Sure.
presentations that I deliver. Let's say that my wife and I are both 55 years old. I pass away. I'm the high income earner. We know she gets benefits off of my record if she stays unmarried or gets remarried after the age of 60. Let's say she gets married at 58. She loses the ability to do either of those things, but then at 63 or 64,
Yeah.
that second marriage dissolves.
I understand. You must, you're good to go. As long as she's not married anymore, she can go ahead and collect off of your work record.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Travis, thank you too.
All right, can you hear me now?
Mike, I can hear you now.
All right, fantastic. Quick question. As it pertains to the Affordable Care Act,
Uh-oh.
is Social Security counted as income? And if so, what percentage?
Well, Social Security is income. I don't know anything about the Affordable Care Act. So I really don't know what you're saying. However, though, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits can be included in your income. So it's income, but different levels of income for different people with different types of income levels.
Okay.
I'm not sure really what the Affordable Care Act has to do with anything, and I'm not at all addressing any tax provisions here, okay, relating to the Affordable Care Act.
Right. Okay.
Okay, is that okay, Mike?
That'll work.
Okay. Somebody has an iPhone. So do I. I've got an iPhone 15. Okay. Travis, B. Thomas.
Good morning, everyone. I am just listening and taking notes of what I need, information I'm gathering. I just got my Pee Wee Herman ears on this morning.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to remind everybody there is an IRMA certification available, IRMA certified planners. So if you want to get more, you want to learn more about IRMA and you want to do more IRMA consulting, I would suggest you connect with the IRMA certified planners company of folks. Mike, Paul Morrison, I think, and Mark Anise. They will give you an NSSA discount. I really don't know what their tuition is, but it's a good program. Many of our advisors have taken their training, so something you might want to consider. If you do, please send me an email, and I will send you a copy of a previously recorded webinar we had with them maybe 2 months ago or so, and I'll put you in contact with Mark and with Paul. My email address is mkiner, Kiner, at mypremierplan.com. For those of you who tried to click on my email in the newsletter I sent out yesterday relating to the purging of advices from the website, you'll notice that it came back undeliverable. And that's because I stuck in an exclamation point where it didn't need to be. Yeah, so many people said, well, it came back undeliverable. Then I looked at it closer and yeah, I had mkiner exclamation point. And there's no exclamation point in my email address. Okay. So we went to Mike, iPhone, Travis. Allison, I think you're next, Allison.
Good morning. I'm just listening in today. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. Luke. Hi, Luke.
Hi, Mark. I had put a question in the chat. Just wondering if anyone had looked into that white paper that circled around in January of 24 about using subsidies for retirement plans on bridging that gap come 2034. Just have a couple clients, will ask about that a little bit. While I always say I have no idea what's going to happen. Here's a couple ideas that I have, and they always think this one's kind of interesting. So just wondering if anyone has any thoughts about it.
What type of subsidies are you referring to?
Like, I think what it would do, I haven't looked into it super close, but I think it would just take away some of the tax deferral stuff on retirement plans.
Okay, beyond my knowledge base. Anybody would like to chime in? How do we get that document, Luke?
I can put a link to it in the chat.
Okay, and if you want to
If that
send
would
me a
work.
copy, anyone asking for it, I can send it to them also. If you want to
Yeah,
do
sure.
that. Okay. Thank you, Luke. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Ethan, you're next, Ethan.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything, just listening in today. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Oh, down to our last one. Pamela, you're next, Pamela. All right, Pamela. Pamela, are you trying to say something? Or you can't. You're on mute. Okay, well, we've gone through Hollywood Squares.
Mark?
So, Frazier, you want to say something?
Yeah, excuse me for interrupting. I don't know how to do the hand raising thing. The question earlier from the lady who said that the widow was 60 and recently widowed, and that what if she waited, you know, just didn't get around to filing, and you said the check would go up, but I thought it was fixed.
Mm-mm.
I
Not
thought
fixed.
it was basically his death check. What would make that go up? He's dead.
Well, the question really is kind of what makes it go down. So if you file early at age 60, death PIA is reduced by 28.5%. And for every month after that, you delay, it will go up. Yeah. Yeah. So if you're at your full retirement age, now you get the whole thing.
All right. It's because of her age.
Yeah, it's her age. Now don't forget, there's a different full retirement age for surviving spouses versus retirement benefits. It could be like a 4-month difference. In my situation, my full retirement age for retirement benefits was 66 and 4 months. But my full retirement age for surviving spouse benefits was only age 66. So in theory, I could have received 100% of a surviving spouse benefit at age 66 and not having to wait the extra 4 months. However, you know what applies? The earnings test will apply all the ways up to my full retirement age for retirement benefits. So the $1 million I'm earning, don't tell Jim that, that will reduce my benefit, all the income I earned before up until the month before my full retirement age for retirement benefits will impact my earnings test. So earnings test goes away, and it's tied to your retirement, full retirement age. But there's a difference between of as much as 4 years between your surviving spouse retirement, full retirement age, and your retirement, full retirement age. Now, why do they make it so complicated? I don't know. Mandy, you just came in. Would you like to say something? Okay. So I have more I can talk about. Just what else is on your mind? Something else you'd like to, are there any topics you'd like me to talk about today? Surviving spouses, divorced spouses, current spouse benefits, the annual earnings test. Any of these topics you would like to have a refresher on? Because these are the topics that we got questions on all the time. Certainly.
The spouse benefits gap. The spouse benefits, both living and surviving.
Sure. Yeah. So a lot of questions we get relate to spousal benefits. It's amazing how many questions I get that are phrased this way. Can somebody claim off their spouse and delay their own to age 70? We all know the answer to that is a flat no. Is it a flat no? But it's a no. And that's because the restricted application no longer applies, as we know. So when you file for your own benefits, when you file for benefits, that's really what I meant to say. You're going to take off your own work record first. And then if you're eligible for for a spousal boost, you'll get that either you'll get that at the same time or you get it later whenever you become eligible for it. So a spousal benefit, let's assume I'm married. For my wife to collect off my work record, she must be at least age 62. I must be receiving a retirement or a disability benefit, and we must be married for at least 12 months, or let's just say 1 year. So if I decide to claim my benefits at my full retirement age, and my wife is at least age 62, she can claim a spousal benefit. But what if I want to wait till age 70? She'll have to wait until I turn my benefits on at age 70. a spousal benefit is equal to half of PIA. So if my PIA is 2,000, my wife gets $1,000 at her full retirement age. If she wants to take the benefit early, it's reduced for age. She can take it as early as age 62, and the reduction can be as much as 35%. If I take my benefit early and I take a reduction, my wife still can get half of my PIA. If I wait until age 70 and get all those DRCs, my wife's spousal benefit off me is still based on my PIA. She doesn't get any more, even though I'm getting those delayed retirement credits. And this is not something we really talk about a lot in the class. But this next item is that if my wife waits beyond her full retirement age and gets delayed retirement credits, then her spousal boost off my work record will be reduced dollar for dollar. So there's no benefit for my wife to wait beyond her full retirement age to collect her own benefit because she's going to get less off me. To get the spousal boost, well, to file for a spousal benefit, pure and simple, you can do that online. So if my wife doesn't have any earnings coming to her, she doesn't have benefits coming to her, she can file for spousal benefits online. However, though, if she's already collecting her benefit, and now she becomes eligible for the spousal boost, she must contact the SSA to do that. She can schedule an in-office phone call, or she can schedule a visit to the local office. Now, why can't you just apply for this online? Doesn't make any sense to me. That's for sure. Now, surviving spouse benefits. So let's assume somebody other than me passes away. Okay. Their surviving spouse can collect off of their work record and get 100% of what the surviving spouse was receiving. No, what the deceased spouse was receiving or eligible to receive at death. And they can get that 100% of that benefit at the surviving spouse's full retirement age. If the surviving spouse wants to claim that benefit early, it's reduced for age. If they want to wait, if they wait until their full retirement age, they get 100%. There's no reason for a surviving spouse to collect a surviving spouse benefit beyond full retirement age because it does not go up at all. So no matter what Harold tells you, don't delay collecting surviving spouse benefit past your full retirement age because he is wrong on that situation. You must be married to the deceased for at least 9 months. If the deceased passed away, okay, the 9-month rule is waived if the deceased passed away due to an accident or passed away while in the military. And to collect off of a deceased work record, you need to be single unless you get remarried after attaining age 60. But what does not apply to surviving spouses that applies to everybody else? Does anybody know? What provision doesn't apply?
Deemed filing.
Okay, Teresa, you win a $50 gift card. Send me an email, please. And my son, Aaron, will send you the $50 gift card. Of course, I'm sure lots of you knew the answer to that question, but Teresa chimed in, so you win the gift card. Yeah, I can't ask Jim to pick a number between 1 and 35. So you win. Okay. Very good. Okay. We can, would you like me to talk about divorce spouses? I'm trying to think of other questions I get, but it's so tough to sometimes really think about those. But believe me, folks, I do get them all the time. I just can't remember the last one or two.
Mark, can I ask you a question, please?
Sure.
Okay. Some time ago, I think I requested, I know you two were working on it. Did you and Jim assemble a chart with all the designations and differences and categories between existing spouse, divorced spouse? And
No, we never did a chart. So. Okay. If you find one out there and want a copy, go for it.
Thank you.
Marcia.
I was going to tag on to your conversation about the spouses. I think the number one question or shock that I get is the spouse, the older and higher earner waited till 70 to claim and is aghast that his wife doesn't get half of his age 70 benefit, and walking that back because they planned that way. That's what they thought she was entitled to. And then they kind of wasted, usually 3 or 4 years waiting for her to at least get something.
You got, yeah.
That's
right.
a real tough one.
You're right, because we all know spousal benefits based on half of PIA. So husband waits to age 70. There's no benefit to that. And since the wife waiting to age 70, she'll get less of a spousal boost. So it's kind of like a double whammy to some extent. And you're right, those people are disappointed. So how did they take the news?
Poorly.
Okay.
And usually for me, it's been pretty typical, traditional marriages. He's the older and the higher earner and she's the lower earner. And really he's pissed, mostly because he thought he understood the rules. So it's just a real insult that what he assumed was right. It's less about the money, to be honest, and more about the insult.
Well, of course, though, she can file for benefits effective 6 months ago.
Yep.
And
so I do talk to them about that. And, and then
okay.
he still did the right thing for survivor benefits. So
okay,
he did
well,
almost
you're right.
everything right.
But she's not going to get what they expected.
No.
Susan, you have your hand raised. I know that.
Yes, thank you. So speaking of trying to correct mistakes, are there any exceptions to that 6-month retroactivity rule that you can go further back? No.
Well, but you have to realize that the 6-month rule, it cannot precede your full retirement age. So full retirement age is 67, and you're 68, you go back 6 months. But if your full retirement age is 67 and 3 months, you can only go back 3 months. But there's no exception. There's no, so no, I don't know of anyone who can't do it. Normally, I would not suggest anybody do the 6-month thing because they give up on the DRCs. Except though, in Marcia, your case, the probably would make sense. But usually giving up those DRCs doesn't make any sense because then you're missing out on a potentially higher surviving spouse benefit because you're giving up 4%.
Yeah, I agree, but I think maybe my question didn't come out the way I wanted it to. So, are there situations in which someone can get benefits paid back more than 6 months ago? Like, let's say in Marcia's example that the IRS told the person, why don't you wait until age 70, spouse, so you collect, and then they find out. Can you go back more than 6 months?
Yeah. If SSA gives you bad information, bad advice, Jim calls it misinformation. So if they give you misinformation, then yes, you can try to go back as early as you can. So if they tell you something that ends up not being right, you can write a letter. I think that's the right way to do it. Write a letter and state your case. Additionally, I was going to say something. Oh yeah. If you are eligible for a spousal benefit prior to when you file, like maybe 2 or 3 years prior, not prior to when you file, but let's say your wife is collecting her own, husband files, now she's eligible for the spousal boost, but you didn't know that. So now you're age 70. You can go back and get a benefit payable to you back to when became eligible, because SSA should have taken the application. They should have.
And would that only apply to a current spouse, or would that also apply to a former spouse?
It could also apply to a former spouse. It could, yeah, because even a former spouse will provide information on their ex-spouse. And SSA needs to complete that application and close everything out. And if they don't close it out by contacting the other ex-spouse, then they may be eligible for a larger lump sum benefit payment. Definitely go for it though. Don't give up on that.
So the further you can go back, it's really key that you file And if SSA goofs it up, then it's always the date of the application that'll
Well,
save you.
not really when you file necessarily, but when, well, I guess both, when you file and also when you become eligible for the spousal benefit. So that's when the spouse files.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So if the spouse never files, then you're never eligible for a spousal boost. But once they file, you are. And SSA should be contacting you. Susan, your hand is still raised. I haven't lowered it. Anything else? Okay. So don't forget because I get this question a lot about divorced spouses. If you're collecting off of one divorced spouse, and then another one, can you change your benefit to collect off of a second ex-spouse? You can, when the second ex-spouse turns age 62 and you've been and your benefit off the second ex-spouse would be higher, then you can switch. Do you know that, if you're collecting off of one ex-spouse at age 62, your benefit is reduced, I'm going to say by 30%. Okay. Now, 2 years later, you become eligible for a benefit off of a second ex-spouse because the second ex-spouse is now turning age 62. You're 2 years older, so the reduction percentage will be less. So maybe instead of 30%, I'm guessing maybe it's 15%. And then 2 years later, your third ex-spouse reaches age 62. You turn benefits on off your third ex-spouse, and now you're at your full retirement age. Now you get the full spousal benefit. No reduction at all. We don't really talk about that in the class, but that's kind of the way it works. All we talk about in the class is that you can switch from one to the other as they turn age 62. We don't talk about the change in the reduction.
Jim?
Fraser. Hi, Mark, though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You asked me.
Hey, Jim?
Who's talking? Wait
If a person, can you hear me?
Who's talking?
This is Barry Thomas.
Oh, Barry. Okay, not you, Fraser. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Barry
All right.
Thomas. You
Did
can
I
talk.
interrupt? Did I jump in out of turn?
No, I don't really know. So go for it.
Does the spousal benefit or boost apply if the spouse is 62 and working?
Well, it always applies. However, if the spouse, I don't know who's the spouse, is the wife or the husband, I don't know. But the annual earnings test will apply. And so if you're earning $100,000 a year, you're not going to receive anything off of your spouse.
Gotcha.
So earnings test is an issue. There's no doubt.
Okay, I thought so.
It's
Okay.
also an issue for your own benefit too. So also, if your spouse, so let's say the husband is 64, turned on his benefits, and he's not earning anything, then the spousal boost is payable to the wife. But what if he finds a job now? He's making $250,000 a year. Well, he won't receive a benefit if he's under full retirement age, of course, and his wife won't receive a spousal benefit off his work record. So the spouse would be subject to not only her own earnings test, but also the earnings test of her spouse.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you. All right. So anything else on your mind? We'll just kind of close this off a little early. I will be sending over the weekend. We won't have an open forum next week, I guess. We had 2 in a row. But I'll send you a list of the next quarter's open forums, and we'll put those on the calendar. Oh,
Yeah,
Marcia, you win the other $50 gift card.
Well, heck, thanks, Mark.
You're welcome.
Hey, Mark, so a quick question, please.
Go for it.
The successive divorces, okay? It's like being at the batter's box. On your third divorce, you may be equal then to the Social Security full. Is that because of the attained age increasing to a certain level that,
It's because the person collecting has now attained full retirement age.
Okay, I got it.
And so now that person gets half of the ex-spouse's PIA.
Excellent. Okay.
Of
It's a,
course, that
s-
person must be single.
right. It's a sport, isn't it?
Well, it can be confusing. There's no doubt.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Looks like, Martin, you did have your hand up, but I didn't see you. Anything you want to say? Okay. So Teresa won a gift card. Marcia won a gift card. So I'll make sure I send Aaron emails before I go to Cleveland. All right, folks. Thank you so much. And we will see you in let's just say a couple weeks, if not in Cleveland. Bye, everybody. Thanks for being here.